live.
We are doing it. And good evening, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of Going Nuclear, full-blown coverage of the LAN, part of the LAN Multimedia Group. We are here on a special Cavs postseason postgame. Cavs a big winner over the Toronto Raptors by a final score of 125-120 to take a 3-2 series lead heading into Game 6. I'm Ethan Greenberg. Alongside of me, my co-host Mike Pellegrini and Drew Hagenbaugh. Guys, instant reaction and thoughts from tonight's game. We watched this together. We cried. We cursed. We laughed at some terrible jokes. I mean, what do you guys think? Mike, you're always good for a few comments here. What do you got?
I'm just relieved that the Cavs actually executed on the stretch and managed to close out for a change, unlike the game on Sunday where we didn't score basically in the last 4 minutes of the game or whatever it was. And this time we had no turnovers in the fourth quarter, which was an added bonus. And hopefully we can clear up the turnovers which we had in the first half and take that momentum from the fourth period into the next game in Toronto. Because to be honest, I want to close this series out in 6 and not have to come back home for Game 7. So if we can reduce the turnovers in the first half like we did in the second half, I think we'll be in quite a good spot going into Friday.
Yeah, Friday's Game 6.
Okay, Friday's Game 6. What about you, Drew? I mean, what are your those are Mike? I think you're spot on in your points there, Drew. What do you have to add to that? And what were your kind of
Well, a big shout out to Dennis Schroeder for his 19 points off the bench.
Heck yeah. Yeah, we'll get around to that. Role players at home.
Why can't they do on the road?
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, so, I mean, like Mike said, it's just relieving. It feels like a giant weight's been lifted off the shoulders of probably just not even the players, but us, the fans, too, because, we went into this game severely stressed out. So, we're feeling the good vibes right now. We're feeling good, and, I'm just quite happy we were able to close it out at the stretch and get it done. And, unlike the last game where we couldn't score a point within the last 4 or so minutes, we finally were able to get buckets towards the end and close this thing out and be able to actually walk away with a W. So it felt good. It felt really good.
It did. It absolutely did. I mean, you talked about not being able to score in those last 4 minutes or so up in Toronto on Sunday. We couldn't even grab a rebound. We couldn't even grab a rebound for the last 5 minutes and 57 seconds of that game on Sunday. We couldn't grab a defensive rebound. That's how bad it was. And in that game, nobody could score. In this game, Toronto
play defense.
Nobody wanted to play defense. And all of a sudden, the Toronto Raptors look like they're the Boston Celtics the way they shoot threes. But part of the problem is the Cavs defense. And that's what we've seen all season long is they are consistently inconsistent. And we talked about this a little bit throughout the game in terms of what do we think the biggest issue is and the main culprit for the inconsistency. Was it all the injuries and the lineup changes? Is it an attitude? Is it, and I feel like there's an attitude. There's a lack of, I don't know, heart out there sometimes and just a willingness to put your butt on the line.
Well, I mean, it's also a lack of respect for
that
the
as well.
Raptors too. Yeah, because like it felt like these guys came in and think, oh, this is easy. Then you go quickly up 2-0 and you're like, oh, okay, this is a walk in the park. Like we're going to sweep this team or we're going to do a gentleman's sweep. And next thing you know, they come in and beat the brakes off of you the next 2 games. And now everything's not so fun and not so easy. So,
right.
it's a massive attitude problem.
It really is.
Then you got Ken Atson after like game 4 coming out and saying the Raptors did what they're meant to do by defending home court. Like dismissing that, it really didn't matter that the Cavs lost the first 2 of those games when it kind of does. Like,
it absolutely does. Look, that's a coping mechanism. That's a strategy right there to try to make it sound as if you are not overreacting, because you don't want you want to remain calm in those situations. Like tonight, for example, Jacoby Walter.
Yeah.
He averaged 7.5 points a game this season. He did shoot 40.9% from 3. So he's not a bad 3-point shooter. Tonight, he was just shredding us. He went 6 of 14 on 3. Now, most of that damage was done in the first half, but he was wide-ass open. He was wide-ass open far too often because there are constantly miscommunications on defense by the Cavs. Guys are missing assignments. It's terrible. And again, I don't know what the hell is going on. Why they can't get.
Is that a chemistry issue, or is that more of a mentality issue? Like,
I think it's a bit of both. Because they aren't as familiar with one another. These guys have just come together, and with injuries, it's been ridiculous. What did they have? 41 different starting lineups in 82 regular season games. And tonight, talking about let me.
This is actually the first game all year, because I know Bryant was active for at least one of the Toronto games. But this is actually the first game all year the Cavs have actually had like a deep potential to have like 11-man strong rotation, because this is the first game where he's actually features when everyone's been available.
Right. No. It's true. But so Jacoby Walter shreds us for 20 points. And then you've got also Jamison Battle comes in. He scored 7. It was a quiet 7, but I saw him shoot a 3, and I absolutely wanted to vomit.
Yep.
As I said while we were watching the game, he's the guy that's what he does. That's what he's going to do to you. You can't let him come in and shred you. I mean, don't you have the scouting report? And then Jamal Shed off the bench scores 18 points. He shoots 4 of 10 from 3. I mean, the only thing that saved us here is that Brandon Ingram left with a heel injury. He played 11 minutes, had 1 point. Scotty Barnes, he had a solid game, double-double, 25 points, 12 boards, 5 assists. And I mean, that was RJ Barrett. Barrett, where did he come from? That's kind of crazy. And Scotty Barnes had 17, 8 points, 11 assists. So he almost had a triple-double. It's a little bit discouraging when we are allowing guys who we've never heard of to come out and beat us.
I'd never heard of that. Walter.
Yeah, I guess I haven't followed enough.
The last 2 games,
Well, in the past 2 games, it was Murray Boyles that killed us off the bench, and you hold him up, and then of course Shed and Walter go off for 20 each, and it's like, somebody's got to D up, or somebody's got to do something, because you can't let these random guys come out and just shred you like this.
Right, we are the magic elixir for most teams who are struggling offensively.
Also, this is the best game Jakob Poeltl's had this entire, because he had 14 points and like 9 rebounds.
Yeah, 14 points, 9 boards, 3 assists. No, Jakob Poeltl was pretty decent for the Cavs. This is kind of crazy. So we ended up with Mobley and Harden are the only players who scored over 20 points. They both ended with
each, right? And
both 23. Mitchell had the 19. Go ahead, Mike.
I'm wondering what happened to Mitchell, because in the first half he only played 15 minutes. What was his total minutes in the end? Because
31 minutes.
Why was he only playing for that so few minutes in the potential game 5?
It might be
no one's been told us about? Was he on a minutes restriction that no one knew about? Because why did he only play 31 minutes? I don't understand that.
No, that was my thought. Was it like a knock or something that we weren't told about? Did he have something in practice, or was it something earlier in the game and he just kind of felt something and just quietly just sat the bench for a while?
I'm going to go with the non-conspiracy theory, and I'm going to go with it was what was working. It was the lineups that were working. I pointed it out to you guys late in the fourth quarter. I'm like, Look who's not on the court.
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell. And he was back on the court in crunch time. He had some key clutch plays. Even when he wasn't really involved early on, the end of the first quarter, he hits that buzzer beater three. Things were rocking down at Rocket Arena. And then they fell back apart and they played terrible. They gave up 40 points in the second quarter. The turnovers were killing the Cavs. And I know people were going to, want to crush James Harden. He had 6 turnovers. You can't do that.
I've got a stat for him here, actually. He's had 4, 5, 8, 7, and 6 in the 5 games.
Yeah, it's not good enough. You can't do that. You really can't. The biggest or one of the big impact players, of course, was Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah.
Schroeder with 19 points off the bench, 2 assists, shoots 3 of 6 from beyond 3. I was shocked that he was in. And I said to you guys, another person we didn't play, Keon Ellis, would have expected him to be in the game and give us some defense. But
how many minutes did Brian get in the end then? Because obviously we've been beating the drum asking him to play in this series.
He got 5 minutes, and they were all, I believe.
No, early on.
They were very early on. They were in the second quarter. Did he come in the third at any point? No, I think it was just in the second quarter. He got 1 assist, had 1 turnover, and got 1 steal. But I want to see him. The fact that he's available, they need to take advantage of that. What did you guys make of the move by Kenny Atkinson to change the starting lineup and take Wade out and insert Strus? Was that an overreaction and an overcorrection for the lack of offense on Sunday? Drew, what do you think?
I think so, because, I mean, Dean Wade comes in and gives you great defense. Now, I know we don't expect him offensively, but he gives you a really good defense. And I think they wanted Strus, because obviously Strus has struggled the last couple games. He had a great game 1, then he's just been kind of distant the last few. So I think they wanted, and with the struggle shooting in the last game, I think they wanted someone to come in and try to light things up early. And he just wasn't able to light it up. And, you go back, you start slowly going back to just bringing back in Dean Wade, because it's like, I'd rather have the defense of Dean Wade than Max Strus missing threes or missing buckets. And just, so I think next game we're going to see Dean Wade inserted back into the starting 5, and we're going to go back with the old rotation, because they tried it didn't work. And I'd rather see Strus come off the bench and make things happen rather than try to do it quickly and, not being able to do so. And it costs us 5 to 8 points immediately at the jump.
Yeah, Mike, you had thoughts. I mean, you immediately had thoughts on that lineup change, and I just, again, let you kind of share what your thinking is on where Kenny's mindset was in that moment.
I think you need to set a tone defensively early in playoff games. So, because he's literally came out after the game now and said, obviously they're going up our offense right now. We just needed some more space in. That's why he made the lineup change.
That makes sense.
I feel like you need to send a message early on and dictate the game defensively early on.
Well, I'll throw this.
I would have put Wade out there rather than Strus, but that's my.
Well, I'll throw 2 things out there that if you make a move or a change and it works, you're a genius. If it doesn't, you're a jackass, right?
Yeah.
And fortunately, you have enough time in the length over the course of a game that you are able to make these changes. The Cavs really were fortunate. They were able to overcome double-digit deficit multiple times. And eventually, Toronto stopped shooting at such a high clip. The defense was far, far better late in the game. And, I think that Jared Allen, for as much crap as he gets, and he had a quiet night, he's not right. He is not himself. 9 points, 3 boards, 1 assist. He had 3 turnovers, but 3 big block shots. It was great to hear the Austin Carr sound clip as he blocked it out. Get that weak stuff out of here. Okay, question from Betty. Thanks for tuning in, Betty. Betty, a beat writer here. She's doing a little work for the Land Multimedia Group. So look forward to her work as we cover different various sports here. Upcoming Lorraine Leviathan County FC. How far do we think the Cavs will go in the playoffs? Betty, you're not going to like this answer. I'll go first. And if we play Orlando, if we get past this and Orlando takes down Detroit, we might get by Orlando. I do not see us going any further than the Eastern Conference Finals, if that. Mike, your thoughts? How far?
Kind of the same, but I think if we do get the Magic, I don't think it's going to be easy. I think it's going to be a very similar series to the Pacers last year and this current series against the Raptors. I think it'll be very physical, mentally challenging for this team, and they're just going to have to grind it out somehow. But I won't be going into it confident thinking the Cavs are going to win in 5 games. I'll tell you that right now. I don't think we're getting a gentleman sweep. That it's probably going to be 7 most likely if we do face. It's a weird one because I'd actually, as much as I want JB Bickerstaff and the Pistons to get eliminated, I actually think facing them would be actually easier than the Magic personally. But I don't think it's going to go that way. I think the Magic will win Game 6.
Be able to pull it out. Okay, Drew, what about you?
I mean, I'm in agreement with you both. I think this is going to be a time where the Cavs will play the Magic, and it's going to be like the last time we played the Magic. It's going to go all 7 games, and you're going to be sitting there scared. And it's like, I can't. Like the goal is Eastern Conference Finals because that's the furthest that at least Donovan Mitchell has gone in his career. So, I mean, if you can get there, that it's a stepping stone in the right direction for next season. But I'm not expecting a great turnout in the next round if we do play Orlando. I'm expecting something very, very similar to this.
It's going to be nerve-wracking. I think whatever the Cavs do is going to be nerve-wracking. We are all going to be sweating it out. And even though we have kind of set ourselves up and understand that the team is only doing so much and they have their major, major flaws, we all at heart still want them to win. And when they don't, it's frustrating and it pisses you off. And just so you know, this is hilarious. I guess obviously they haven't decided on the time because they don't know how many matchups will be going on ESPN.com. Currently, they're saying that Game 6 will be on Prime.
So what?
At midnight. Wait, hold on a second, Mike. It says now because they haven't determined a time. It says Game 6 Friday, May 1st at 12 a.m. on Prime Video.
So if no game series finish, what is the schedule? Assuming there's going to be games played, like is there 2 other series due on Friday? Is it?
Well, I think they're waiting for like the Lakers and
right. They got to wait for the Lakers
because
right. If nothing else, it'll be the Pistons and the Magic. Probably will.
Well, I could see ahead.
Take a look and see what you can find there.
So the series would be us and the Raptors, Pistons, Magic, Lakers, Rockets.
It's the same day.
If everybody went along and we had to play on.
Well, obviously Orlando and Pistons are going to be playing.
Right.
But the Lakers are on
game on Prime,
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we'll find out. It sounds like we're going to be on Prime, and at least according to the website, to ESPN.com. We'll wait.
It makes sense though. We rotate it because they had the Prime game tonight, so kind
of. So we get stuck on Prime. Great, good, wonderful, lovely.
As long as it's not a 1 p.m. Prime game either.
Well, it's on Friday, so we're okay.
Then it'll be like a 7:30.
Yeah, it'll be all right. I mean. This was a game. We also saw some key contributions. I was shocked Jalen Tyson getting some minutes, but he came out. He played well. I think that we got key contributions from guys we needed to get contributions from. There was that stretch in the third quarter. Evan Mobley was it in the third quarter or the very beginning of the fourth quarter where Evan Mobley started stepping up? I'd have to look back, but the point is he finally made his presence felt. And was able to do something. I mean, again, he and James Harden both end up with a team high, tied 23 points. Actually, funny enough, both of them had 23 and 9. I mean, like, shouldn't Evan Mobley have more rebounds than James Harden?
What was the minute, though? What was the minute between?
Mobley had 33 and James Harden had 40.
And they both had the same amount of points and rebounds.
Right, and they both actually had 13 field goal attempts. And Mobley's big thing, 3 of 3 from the 3-point arc.
Oh, also, Ethan, to your point, it was early fourth where Evan Mobley was making those threes.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that was a very, very key session, portion of the game for the Cavs. They had to close the deficit. They closed it to within 3 going into the fourth quarter. They were down 7.5. They were down 3 at the end of the third, and they came out and they really they clamped down. It's just, I don't think it should have had to go this far. One, I don't think this series should be headed back for Game 6.
No.
I feel like the Cavs should have taken a game in Toronto. I don't think that tonight's game should have been near as close, especially with Brandon Ingram being out.
What are we going to get next game? Is it going to be low scoring or high scoring again?
I want to know what I want to know is who are the officials?
It's going to be Tony Brothers again.
I'd love to know, because it's just, first of all, I am not a fan of Scott Foster.
No, nobody is.
No, he really, he's done. It's pretty bad when fans know certain officials.
It's not good.
It's not a good thing.
There's only about 3 officials in the NBA that actually know their names of. Like, if you ask me to name them, I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Right. Yeah. Which
isn't a good thing, is it, for them, really?
No, it's not. Yeah, Cavs with it. So again, folks, a little just here post-game wrap-up. Cavs victory over to the Raptors, a 3-2 series lead, a win down at Rocket Arena. Cavs win 125-120. So a good day in downtown Cleveland. The Guardians with a win. Finally get off the schneid against the Rays before they head out to play the team that was formerly in Oakland.
Are they still playing at that, like, AAA?
I think so. They're playing in Sacramento. They're playing. They are playing in Sacramento, but we'll get to them later. Tonight and right now is a chance to just talk about the Cavs and what they did. I don't know. Sam Merrill, also key contributor tonight. Mm-hmm. Sam Merrill, it doesn't look like a great stat line. 9 points on 3. He went 2 of 2 from 3. I mean, they obviously played great defense that he couldn't get sprung free. But he does contribute in 23 minutes, 9 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, a steal, had 2 turnovers. Sometimes I wonder what Kenny's thought process is. And I don't know. I mean, we've had a couple of befuddling plays. One that I can think of off the top of my head, Sam Merrill's 1 turnover. What was he doing bringing up the ball? He's not really a true point guard, and he's being pressured on the ball. I can't recall who was pressuring him. Who was it? I
think it was Shed. I think it was Shed.
Was it Shed or Walter? Either Shed or Walter. So I think you're right.
I think it was Shed.
And then you had to play an inbound on the sideline in the forecourt. Mm-hmm. The ball had been knocked out of bounds, and I think Harden was inbounding it. He gets it into Allen outside the 3-point arc, and he starts to dribble with it, and ultimately gets knocked around, and they end up on the floor, and it gets taken away. A turnover. The Cavs, the points they gave up off turnovers, that you cut those out. This game is an absolute blowout.
Bye-bye, Pittsburgh. Enjoy Cancun. The Flyers just won in overtime.
Oh, look at this. Yes. Well. That is a good thing. Bye-bye, Penguins. Adios. Arrivederci. Or something along those lines. The points off turnovers were just killer for the Cavs. And actually, check this out, guys. Did you see this? Each team had 15 turnovers by the time the thing was all said and done.
Wow, equal turnovers.
And we had 28 points off of their turnovers. They had 20. Or no, I'm sorry. We conceded 28.
Yeah. I was going to say it's flip-flopped, yeah.
I see the way they put it there. I hadn't looked at their team stats. But they had 24 fast break points to our 6. Points in the paint were even at 48 apiece. I'm kind of surprised. As many fouls as it seemed like were being called, Toronto called for 21 whistles and the Cavs for 16. I mean, Toronto, it says they led 58% of the game.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm glad the Cavs could come back against them. And I would normally say I wouldn't expect that against other teams, but in the way the NBA plays, it's so frequent now that teams come back from double-digit deficits to win a game. So I don't know. I mean, going into game 6, guys, after this performance, do you think the Cavs will be ready if Brandon Ingram doesn't play, what are Toronto's chances? It looked like Scotty Barnes got a little bit banged up. Just what are your expectations going into Game 6, Drew?
Well, if they're going into the game banged up, then that should give you a bit of hope and a chance because from what the broadcast was saying too, Murray Boyles is still dealing with that shoulder injury, and that's why he really didn't. I mean, he played 26 minutes, but it could be why he wasn't super effective. Was that he probably couldn't get a shot up because his arm's just like dead, and I think it was a shooting arm too because he's lefty. So that helps a little bit. Obviously, Brandon Ingram, if he's not there, that helps quite a bit. That's a dangerous guy if he gets hot. So it gives you a little bit of hope, but you have to start. It's like we've always said all week. They got to be fast. They got to get out fast, get a quick, double-digit lead, get up early. Make them feel it at home, make them dead silent in the crowd. So you have to start fast. You have to, and the thing is, it's like if the biggest thing is turnovers. Obviously, if you can limit the turnovers just to half of what you have been, that it should be no problem beating them because that was the biggest factor in the first two games. We didn't turn the ball over that much, and we blew them out by double digits at both games. And then you get too many turnovers, and then they've beaten you, and then obviously tied in turnovers, it was close. So if you just stop committing stupid turnovers, and I think that's going to be the key thing that they're going to talk about for the next couple of days is limit the turnovers.
Yep, absolutely. Mike, what are your expectations or feelings of post-victory and thinking ahead to Game 6?
I'm just wondering if Brandon Ingram's going to be available or not for them because it's a quick turnaround, and if he doesn't play, I think the Cavs have a big opportunity to just wrap this up before Sunday because, like I said before, like the teams shouldn't be coming into these series like thinking they can just win it at home. Like they should always have that mentality of like win a road game. Like I'm hoping I hope the Cavs go in there on Friday and are prepared to grind it out and give everything it takes basically to win this in 6.
Yep. Absolutely. What about, I mean, if you think about it, remember, wasn't there an incredible stat for LeBron in terms of the number of playoff series he went where his team won a road game? What do you guys recall this? I don't remember.
Yeah, it
was some
familiar.
Incredible.
What was it, a Cavs streak?
What's that, Mike?
Was it a Cavs playoff LeBron streak? Yeah,
it might have been all LeBron playoffs things. It was one of those things where however many series or whatever it is, his team always had at least one road win. I mean, he took between two different teams. He went to the finals 8 years in a row, which is pretty daggone amazing for whatever. Yeah. Whoever wants to get into that debate, they can get into that debate. That's another time, another place we can have that long discussion. But the Cavs certainly should have the advantage going into Game 6. This is going to be about taking care of business. This is going to be about imposing your will and not making the mistakes, especially if Brandon Ingram is out. If he is out, you're talking about Scotty Barnes and a bunch of role players, right?
Yeah.
I've got the LeBron stat here. It ended in 2018, and it was 29 consecutive series
with a road
playoff game.
Yeah. So he knew, even when the Cavs weren't the number 1 seed, they didn't need to be. He knew they could go on the road and take a game. He was that confident. I'm not so sure about this team, but they need to have that kind of mentality.
The problem is, if you don't have that mentality, your margin for error is so thin.
Right. Yeah. No. It is because if you're just assuming, okay, we're going to take care of home court, you got to be.
Look at Boston, right? They've lost 2 home games against the 76ers.
And I don't even get that. Like, how?
It's like
I just don't even get it.
Lose at home in the playoffs, like.
I don't even know what is going on with the Celtics. Are they, as the saying goes, are they playing with their food?
Didn't they win Game 4 by like 30 in Philadelphia and then lost by like double digits yesterday?
Yeah.
At home. It's like,
Well, they fell apart in the late third, fourth quarter. It seems like in the third or fourth quarter, all of a sudden Philadelphia started making shots, and Embiid left the court. He comes back. He's making shots. I'm like, who's this guy? Who is this guy? Yeah, as nice as it is to win. Obviously, I'm in a much better mood when they win than when they lose. It doesn't necessarily leave me feeling at ease with the task that is still at hand.
Yeah.
And they are going to need a guy like Max Strus to find himself. The Mobley we saw in the second half, and I'm not asking him to be shooting a bunch of 3-pointers. I'm asking him to be aggressive.
he actually played well in the second half for a change. Like,
oh, he did. He really did. So guys, this is the discussion we've had. He can be very good.
Yeah.
But he doesn't do it consistently enough. And that's why we're looking at him as a trade asset.
You know what the funny thing about that
as opposed to our future.
So on our watch along we did privately, we were literally talking about Mobley's first half performance, and we're like, if he plays like this for the rest of the series, his trade value is going to drop. But then he turned it around in the second half.
Right. He's serving a dual purpose right now. If the Cavs lose and he's playing well, then you can use that as a basis to trade him. Although some in the front office might feel like he still has a very, very high ceiling. I just don't see him reaching that. And you can't keep relying on that. Our opportunity to win is now or within the next year or so. That maybe Harden's here another year. If we can get that out of him, Mitchell, we'd like to keep him here. I hope that they'll be able to do that. And certainly winning will help that cause. If they can get to the second round, if they can get to the Eastern Conference Finals, that would go a long way. But
the Cavs are the only team that can offer him that kind of money, though, as well, right, for Mitchell?
I believe they can offer him the most.
Yeah.
So
the way the salary cap is set up and everything, and the max contracts, etc. But we're going to have to do something. If the Cavs fall short of the title, and unless Mobley somehow starts to just play magnificent every night and becomes a force to be reckoned with, I don't see how you keep going on with him and down this path, because there are too many nights and too many times when he's a good guy. He's too soft-spoken. He is not an enforcer, and that's what you have to be.
This is
so
what the case were last year. Like, they were complete opposite to Mobley and Allen. They weren't the most talented team in the world, but they had like 4 or 5 guys who were just nasty and horrible to play against.
Yeah, and that's what we were yelling for Thomas Bryant, and I'm glad he finally made it in, even though it was 5 minutes. It was that made me feel vindicated that Thomas Bryant got a few minutes out there, because
I wonder as well, because Thomas Bryant played, that put it down to that. We kept it at 10-man rotation, right?
I'd have to go back to the box score. I think so, because we didn't play Schroeder or anybody else.
Because we removed Keon Ellis, I wonder, did that then open up more minutes for Schroeder, which gave him that production? Because obviously Kenny decided he's not going to stretch it to 11 guys. He's going to keep it at 10.
Right. I think that Thomas Bryant, of course, he brings in a little bit of energy, effort, size, a multitude of things that this team needs. It was a good pickup. He is not just an end of his career Kendrick Perkins.
He's quite young as well, really, compared to his contract. Like, he's on like an NBA vets deal with like $3 million or whatever it is. Like, he's not that old.
He's 28 years old.
There you go.
He was drafted in the second round of 2017. He was picked number 42 by Utah out of Indiana University. Again, I think that he has some really, really great value for this team when they're looking for someone with experience, someone who can come in and set a tone. I really like I've liked his energy all season long, and hopefully he will be around and be able to play a role if the Cavs can continue down this path. But for now and tonight, the Cavs get the win, and that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you have to grind it out against the teams that are not as potentially not meant to be as strong as you. Sometimes you just have to grind it out.
Oh, right, and you're going to
get the Magic a few years ago. We got to Game 7. It wasn't pretty.
No, it wasn't, and I believe that this team is just as good as others we've had. Not including the LeBron years. LeBron years, then those teams, those are different stories, especially during his second stint.
Like we used to sweep those series in like 4 games, and we used to win by double digits in every single game. Most during that period.
Oh yeah, the Cavs just obliterated. I mean, there were the years. I think in 2016 when we won the title, I don't believe we were the number 1 seed in the East. I believe maybe Atlanta was or Toronto, and we went in and we scorched them. We just destroyed them. It was crazy. I know we were living in the nightmares of Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah.
Here it is. Nate, yes. He converted. It was Atlanta. Yeah, just he obliterated them.
They had Kyle Korver on that team, didn't he?
Yeah, that was a team of Kyle Korver, like Jeff Teague.
That annoying bunch.
Who was the guy who played Al Horford?
Al Horford.
Jamal Crawford played for them, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
And LeBron James has to just live in his head as well.
Yeah.
So this is just one of those years that you're gonna have to go out and you're gonna have to. There it is.
Kent Bazemore.
Oh my God, man, Nate, thank you for joining us.
All knowledge.
I
forgot about Kent Bazemore.
Oh my God, I don't want to think about these guys. Really, honestly, no. Good win for the Cavs tonight. And
Paul Millsap's a pull.
Oh my! I think he. You know what? I think Nate pulled them up.
Yeah, I remember him. So.
Yeah. Wait. When was Dennis Schroeder on Atlanta?
I think that was
12 teams, or something.
I think that was shortly after.
I feel like we played against Dennis Schroeder in the playoffs before, and he was always annoying.
I think Dennis Schroeder was on the same time as like Dwight Howard.
Wait a second.
4 All-Stars, yeah.
Wow.
And we swept.
That's absolutely crazy. I mean, we killed teams, and it didn't matter that we didn't have home court advantage. Just completely obliterated and smoked them, and go out there. I mean, do you remember the flurry of 3-pointers we were shooting on them?
Yeah,
man, that was unreal.
We set a playoff record in 2016 for most threes in a playoff game. If I remember correctly,
I believe you are correct. So the point being, and the thought was that team far different than this squad, but I think this team we've got potential.
I just don't like the mentality of teams thinking they can just win a series at home. Like, I'm hoping the Cavs, after grinding it out tonight, have that as a proper locked-in business trip and get that game done.
Yep, you have to make it a business trip. You can't be going up there to try and just chill out at Tim Hortons all day and eat your Timbits.
At least there's no Guardians game in Toronto this week. Can distract their business trip, because that was a bit of a distraction, maybe, I guess, because they all chilled out, didn't they?
They did. They absolutely did. Game. That was not good. So no trips to the Casino Niagara, no trips to Niagara Falls. Let's go up there, take care of business, and come back home, and hopefully maybe we'll be hosting a game 1 against Orlando. And we'll wait and see there. Orlando, they got to get one more. They've got their opportunity ahead, 3-2. They will host game 6 on Friday, taking on the Pistons. The Pistons, the number 1 seed. if the Pistons lose that series, let me just throw this out there. Kind of, I think we should wind down here.
They've
but
already lost the home game as well. This is the other thing going back to our discussion. Like the Magic have already won a road game in that series. So
right now they've
already proved that they can beat a top seed on the road with this current squad. So, like,
yeah, Tim Hortons is good though. No, I gotta say I did have some Tim Hortons. It was all right. It was pretty solid. They had a good Boston cream donut, to be quite frank. Better than Dunkin'. Better than Dunkin'.
I feel like anything's better than Dunkin'.
I think Dunkin' gets overrated, although their commercials for the Super Bowl are pretty funny. They are pretty good.
I mean,
I've
that's
never
true.
seen them because we don't see the American.
Don't worry, you didn't miss much. They're not as good as they used to be. If Detroit doesn't win this series against Orlando, what do you think how loud is it going to be in Detroit about JB as the coach?
Very. Because they're gonna be like, "Oh my god, we can't do that. We can't do what the Cavs have done. We can't have multi years of just making the playoffs, being like a top 3 seed, and then just getting blown out every first round or every playoff."
Right. I think, Mike, what do you think? I mean, do you think that it's going to start getting noisy in Detroit if the Pistons get knocked out?
Probably, but at the same time, I'm like, can they really fire him? Because, like, where were they for years before?
Oh, they were horrible. They were horrible. Yeah, and Nate says, yeah, they'll be fine. Add young team that's a piece away. Okay, but I'm going to throw something.
They don't have enough scoring. That's the problem. Like tonight, they needed Cage to drop 45 points to win that game.
Okay, but here it is. I'm going to start dropping dimes here. I'm Kevin Love. I'm dropping dimes. Look, this is the JB mold. Let's look at what he did with the Cavs. Mm-hmm. He comes in, he turns this thing around. We start out as we get into the play-in. Yeah. We get knocked out. The next year, we come in, we have home court and get our butts handed to us by the Knicks. The lights were too bright. Oh, is that? Yeah, I think that was it. And then the next year, we defeat Orlando in 7, and then all the injuries, we get crushed by the Celtics, and that's the end of the JB era.
So the JB season was the season where in game 82 we decided to lose
against the Hornets
to the Hornets to then face
Orlando
Magic in the first round
rather than the Bucks.
And then we would rather play the Celtics where we got killed in the second round.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So he had Donovan. So in the first couple of years, it was just the big 3. Mm-hmm. It was Mobley, Allen, and Garland. And then they added Donovan Mitchell, right? I believe that was the course there. He had 2 seasons. Did he have 2 seasons with Donovan or just 1?
He had 2 because he came in the first time we played Orlando.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
this is his 4th season we spurred.
Wait,
he played in the Knicks series, didn't he?
It feels like he did. I can't remember. Actually, I don't know. I'd have to look.
He must have came after the play-in season where
he came in after the play-in where we lost to Atlanta.
The Knicks, the Celtics, and the Pacers in the last 3 playoffs.
Right. So I think that essentially we had teams there, and like he's got in Detroit, they play tough physical basketball. You've only got one true real scorer to count on there, kind of like Cade Cunningham, Donovan Mitchell. And at some point, I think that he can only get so much out of these teams. Whether it's due to a lack of talent, I could say no, because I think it's certainly the Cavs lineup that he had. We've seen they did even though they didn't go any further than he had taken them. We've seen that the virtually same roster can do better, can win more games, and get more. You can get more out of them. Kenny got more offense out of them. If they don't win, he might be going into next year, potentially things are going to start getting a little loud if he doesn't make it further. But they are the favorite against Orlando. I know it's a tough task to come back down. As we know, coming back from down 3-1, that's a hard ask. And Orlando might be without Franz Wagner. We'll see. We'll see what happens. He didn't play tonight, and the Magic were down most of the night. They cut it to within 3 under a minute to go, but Detroit held them off. So it will be very curious to see what happens. It'll be curious to see what happens with the Cavs coaching situations. As we talked about it during the broadcast, the fact that basically we're seeing the same problems over and over and over and over again. And is it really the coach or is it the players?
Coach does prepare the team for the game.
Yeah,
he prepares them, and he's yelling at them during timeouts as to what to do, but they don't listen. Why aren't they executing?
Well, that's the thing is, like, I've always said the coach can only do so much. It's up to the players to execute, because you can always draw up a game plan. It could be the best game plan possible, but
right,
the players got to be the ones to execute it. You can't. The coach can't be relied on to do everything. Like, it's not like Kenny Atkinson can go on the floor and hit jumpers himself. Like, he's drawn up the plays, and sometimes they look like great plays. It's just we turn the ball over and we don't execute, and next thing you know,
timeout when Donovan Mitchell's at 7 seconds and he's about to hit
and he almost did it again tonight. He almost did it again tonight. I mean, this to me that's coaching malpractice.
It is.
You've got to be on top of that stuff, and that's something that I think he needs to look at, and his assistant coaches need to look at and be on top of it. I mean, remember when Damon Jones saved David Blatt, or not Damon? I mean, Ty Lue saved David Blatt in that Chicago series when he was about to call timeout. And we had no timeouts left. It feels like you've got to have your assistants on top of this stuff, and someone's got to be in your ear or right away. It's just, I don't know. I feel like, well, we're going to enjoy tonight's victory, and for as long as it goes, we'll keep enjoying it. And if it ends before we're hoisting a Larry O'Brien trophy, then we'll have these discussions about the coach.
I still think though, whoever comes out of the West is going to win this championship.
I believe so. Although theoretically, let's say it were the Cavs to reach the finals, we actually didn't do too badly against the Spurs. Did we win?
I'd like to say we needed to be the Spurs because we're like, haven't we won like 4 of the last 5 games against them or something?
Well, I mean, we only play 2 games against them a year, and I think we beat them both times.
I think we beat them both times last year, if I remember correctly as well.
Yeah, which is kind of and last year they didn't have they may not have had Wemby for one or both because of his injury. But again, it gives you some hope out there. So much left to be decided.
I just wanted to look it up, but yeah, Cavs did beat Spurs both times this year. We won it back in December 5th. We won 130-117. Then we won later that month on the 29th, 113-101.
Yeah, we had to make up for the fact that we blew that game on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
To stupid New York, ruined my Christmas Day. Bastards. And Nate is calling his shot. He says Cavs will win game 6 by 7, 118-111. So he feels like the shots are going to be falling up in Toronto on Friday.
Also, the Cavs, I'm looking at it now just to see, the Cavs haven't lost to the Spurs since December 12th, 2022.
Wow. But the Spurs have been bad.
Yeah.
They have
how many seasons has Wemby been there? 2?
This is his third season.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so 3 seasons, and we haven't lost to him since he's been there.
Right. But they have been very, very bad, which is crazy to think, because they had such an extended run of success with obviously Tim Duncan and David Robinson.
It's weird though. The Thunder match up poorly against the Spurs, but then we match up well against the Spurs.
Yeah. The DeRozan Spurs, Nathan. The DeRozan Spurs, yes.
Yeah, the DeRozan Spurs, exactly. Good call. Man, Nate's on fire tonight. He says he thinks he remembers the game we lost. Boy. Oh boy. There.
Did we lose over? Or did we win in overtime to them on the road when Kyrie was playing? I swear.
Oh, I remember the Kyrie game.
Oh yeah, that was a OT win, wasn't it?
Seems very familiar. So but the point being, it's kind of crazy that the Spurs went through such a long period of success, and poor Popovich. I mean, health, it sucks. It sucks getting old. Poor guy, just with his health issues and everything. But that team, Manu, Tony Parker, like what? And Tim Duncan, and just a bevy of role players.
And then they added Kawhi to that too.
Right, Kawhi. Was it? Is it Bowen? It was
Bruce Bowen.
Bruce Bowen. Big Shot Bob. Robert Horry.
Yeah, wasn't it the 2007 finals where it was like Bruce Bowen, Horry, Manu, Duncan, Parker.
Oh,
they swept us, didn't they?
Oh,
yeah. I mean, LeBron was only 21, 22 years old.
I wonder what get that team to the finals against that Spurs.
How did that team win 60 games?
Who? The
2007 Cavs.
They didn't win. No, that was that wasn't 07. That was
around that time they did win a 60-game season.
The next year is when they won 60 plus. And
wasn't the next year we got Shaq too?
No, that was 2 years later, I believe.
2 years later, okay.
The next year, I believe, is when we won over 60 games because we were the favorites, and then we lost to Orlando in the conference finals because Mike Brown couldn't make an adjustment. Now New York, they've regained control over Atlanta. They're back up 3-2, and with Atlanta now they're in a similar situation like Toronto. They have their backs against the wall. They have to win at home to try and force a game 7. Mike Brown is another coach who I have not really been impressed with. Always lets you down.
But they have another team that's won. Atlanta, another team like Orlando, have also won on the road. Like
right,
their series. They've won again. They've won.
But they didn't. But they didn't. They also
they've lost at home. But
yeah, so they're down, and they've got to come up with a win at home. New York.
That proves my point, though. The margin for error, if you're just committed to winning at home, is so thin. Both of them teams have won on the road because they've lost at home.
Right. Exactly. But yeah, those Cavs teams. I mean, the one that, as you asked me, how did he was dragging that team along with him. You're talking. Look at the cast of characters when you're talking about Drew Gooden, Anderson, a young Anderson Varejao. Did we have a Sasha Pavlovich?
Sasha Pavlovich, yeah.
Yep. And then
Renewable.
Was my good old friend Eric Snow on the team?
Eric Snow was on the team?
Yes, he was. Eric Snow was on the team. And then Boobie Gibson with an all-time performance in Game 6 to knock out the Pistons in the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean...
Was Carlos Boozer was on that team too? No?
No. I think that was after he screwed us.
Oh, yeah. I think that was after he screwed us.
How are you going to screw over a blind guy?
I have no LeBron, right? LeBron's been like the best player in this series now at 41. Like he's been one of the best 3 players in this series. It's like ridiculous, and it's without their 2 best players, and Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic. They're both out, and like they're probably going to win this series.
Austin Reeves is playing tonight.
Oh yeah,
he's back. Yeah,
he's back. He's playing tonight. They're down by like 5 or something at half.
They need to take care of business, especially considering the Rockets. What they're without Durant. So anyway, with that being said, guys, we will be looking forward to game number 6 on Friday. Stay tuned, everybody. We plan tomorrow for our regular time slot, 7 p.m. Eastern. Going nuclear. We will talk. We'll talk some more Cavs. We will be talking Gardo's baseball, Travis Bazana, and we will be talking about the Clowns and their post-draft. I'm sure there'll be some other updates. And what is this? Orlando hasn't blown a 3-1 lead since the Pistons beat them in 2000. Oh wow, just wow.
And the Cavs have never lost a playoff series when they've been 2-0 up, and they're back to 3-2 now. So
right, it said we're 10-1 in series.
We're 10-1 in when we're up 3-2. Toronto's 0-5 when they're down 3-2,
and we're 18-0 when we had the 2-0 lead. So
yeah, we're 18-0 when we've gone up 2-0.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I don't know, Nate. What's your?
And by the way, the Guardians play 9:40 on Friday.
Great. Yeah, because they'll be playing.
So they'll be played just as the Cavs game is about to be over. kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, I played against a team without no city or name.
It's funny you say that because I actually had to Google earlier to see when that next game is being played because I couldn't remember where the A's were from.
Yeah,
Sacramento, baby.
that is such a.
I wasn't sure if they'd moved yet. Like,
right.
They're playing in some temporary ground in Vegas, but they're still in Sacramento.
Yep.
No.
Well, anyway, the thought was the Pistons, man. All right, thank you, Nate. All right, folks, guys, thank you for sticking with us. I know it's late here, and this was just kind of a spur of the moment matter here. We said, you know what?
Do it live.
We'll do it live. We won't write it, and we'll do it live. Thank you to Betty for commenting. Thank you to Nate for commenting, and so that's going to do it for us here this evening. For Mike Pellegrini, for Drew Hagenbaugh, I'm Ethan Greenberg. You have been tuned in to a special Going Nuclear full-blown coverage of the Land Cavs post-game. Cavs a winner over the Raptors, and we'll talk to you again soon. Stay tuned. Look for us tomorrow night, 7 p.m., part of the Land Multimedia Group.